Happy Wednesday. How do you know when you're healed? How do you know when you're healed? That's a really good question. For me, when I first started this journey, I started it in pain. I started it unhealed, literally. As I look back on my YouTube videos, I don't know if you guys can see here. Yeah. So this second video up on the bottom, yeah, that's me sharing my story. And when my first time sharing my story, and the title of that is Pain Equals Purpose. I was sharing that story. I was bitter. I was hurt. I was angry. I was not healed. Okay? And the more I shared, the more I helped other people, the more it helped me. I did my work. And now the more I talked about it, the more I shared, the more it healed me. And I share from a full place. I share from on top of the story and not inside of it. Because in the beginning, I was inside of it. My eyes will if you watch that video, you would see water swell up in my eyes. If I had blank hard, tears would have flowed out, right? And when I got around that person, I just started feeling stuff like triggered and stuff. And I was like, oh God. Like, when am I going to stop feeling this? Right? I had to do my work. I had to forgive. I had to forgive that person. I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive and stop blaming everybody. I had to stop blaming people. I'm responsible for my healing. I'm responsible for my breakthrough and my breakdowns. I had to do my work. And I look back on those videos, I was like, man, I was hurting. But for me, I had to give the wound oxygen to heal. And I did it in that way. You might do it in a different way. You got to get the stuff out. You have to get it out. The more you talk about it, the better you're going to feel about it. Whether you talk to a safe person or you write a letter, get it out. The more you talk about it, the more you're going to heal. That's my story. It may be different for you, but for me, that was my journey. That is the journey. So I'm constantly talking about things that I feel. So they don't weigh me down. And I don't be triggered by everything or everybody. Because people can trigger you too. Like relationships that are completed. I call them completed relationships. You see that person, it's like, oh my God, I don't want to see him. So you got to do your work. You can see that person, it's like, it's just a stranger with memories. That's it. How do you know when you're healed? When you don't feel those things that you used to feel anymore. And you're telling your story from on top of it.